everybody. Thanks for joining us today for our Maple Springs KidZone lesson. We're starting a new series today, and it's called Kids of the Bible. I'm really excited about this series, and I hope you are too. I've heard lots of lessons about men in the Bible, even done a couple of series about women of the Bible, but never a series about kids of the Bible. So we're going to learn a lot over the next few weeks, and I hope you'll tune in every week and join us as we do this series. Now, if I were to ask the kids watching today a question, and I would think I know what their answer is going to be. So here's the question for you kids that are watching. If you could hurry up and become a grown-up, would you do it? Would you hurry up and pass time by so you could be a grown-up? I bet if you could, a lot of you would say yes. Because after all, when you're a kid, there's a lot of things that you can't do, right? I mean, when you go to a restaurant, mom and dad probably don't let you order off the adult menu, right? You have to do the kids menu. When you go shopping, you probably can't buy just anything that you want to buy. Can't drive a car, not yet anyway. And you don't have a job, so you probably don't have a ton of money to spend. And you don't get to stay up as late as you want to every night of the week. And as much as you like to, you don't get to eat pizza every night for dinner. So when you think about being an adult and being able to make the choices that you want to make, probably sounds pretty awesome to be an adult. But let me tell you this. Being an adult, being a grown-up, it's not all it's cracked up to be. I mean, most adults have to work pretty hard at their job to be able to have the money to pay for their car insurance, to pay their rent, to pay their taxes, to pay all their other bills. We have to be careful about what we eat in order to stay healthy. And most adults I know, they're lucky to have enough money to be able to afford to eat pizza once a week, much less every day. So, like I said, being an adult's really not all it's cracked up to be. But I understand it is good. We do enjoy being able to make the choices that we want to make, to be able to decide to do things that we want to do, like being able to do what we want to do on the weekends, being able to eat what we want to eat for dinner. You know, when you're an adult, you get to do things like that. And you're probably thinking, it would be good if when I'm an adult to finally be able to serve God and be able to find my purpose in life. Right? But you know, actually that's the one choice that you don't have to wait until you're an adult to make. You can start serving God right now, no matter how old you are. You can start right now to find your purpose in life. You don't have to wait until you're a grown-up. So no matter if you're in 5th grade or 3rd grade or even in kindergarten or anywhere between any of those grades, doesn't matter. You can start serving Jesus now. Doesn't matter how old you are. You know, as we start this series of kids in the Bible, we're going to, over the next few weeks, be looking at different kids in the Bible and how they fulfilled their purpose of serving God, no matter their age. They were each designed and created by God. They each had a purpose to fulfill, and they each did that. Today, we're going to be looking at a person who had a purpose to fulfill. And he even began to fulfill that purpose before he was ever even born. Let's look at the story of John the Baptist.
During the reign of King Herod of Judah, there lived a priest named Zechariah. He had a wife named Elizabeth, who was a descendant of Aaron. They both loved God and obeyed His commandments, and because of this, they were considered righteous in God's eyes. They desperately wanted a family, but Elizabeth could not have children. One day, when Zechariah was serving at the temple, he was chosen to burn incense inside the temple. And while he was there, a great angel of the Lord suddenly appeared to him. Zechariah was terrified, but the angel of the Lord told him not to be afraid because he had wonderful news. Your prayers have been heard, and Elizabeth is going to give birth to a child. She will have a son, and you are to name him John. The angel went on to say, Many people will rejoice at the birth of your son, and he will be great in the eyes of the Lord." Zechariah wanted to believe what the angel said, but he and his wife were now very old, way beyond the age when married couples start a family. So Zechariah asked the angel, "How can I know this will really happen?" The angel replied, "I am Gabriel, and I stand before God himself. The Lord sent me to give you this good news." The angel then told Zechariah that because he did not believe his words, he would not be able to speak until after the child was born. A little while later, Zechariah left the temple and went home, but because he couldn't speak, he was unable to tell anyone about the miraculous event that took place in the temple that day. Sometime later, just as the angel Gabriel said, Elizabeth became pregnant and gave birth to a son. All of their family and neighbors celebrated his birth with them and assumed that they would name the baby Zechariah after his father. But Elizabeth explained that the child was to be named John. So they asked Zechariah what he wanted him to be named. Zechariah could not speak, so he wrote on a tablet, "His name is John." And they were all astonished. At that very moment, Zechariah was able to speak again, and he began to praise and thank God. All of this took place to fulfill God's promise that John would turn the hearts of his people to the Lord their God, and he would prepare them for the coming of the Messiah, God's only Son, Jesus.
God knew who John the Baptist was before he was ever born. And God knew he would be a great ambassador, preparing the people for Jesus. And then when Jesus was ready to start his own ministry, John would step aside. And the reason God knew all of this is because God's the one who made John. God's the one who gave him that purpose to fulfill. And everyone out there watching this today, I want you to know this. God made you. Long before you were ever born, God knew about you, and he knew about your purpose. And you don't have to wait until you're grown up to start living your purpose. You can start serving God today in your church, in your family, in your community, in your school. Doing things like loving others and offering a helping hand when you see someone in need. Praying for others, sometimes just being a good listener is the way that you can help others. And praying for others, praying for people in your family, praying for our country, praying for your pastor. All of these things are an important way to show love to others. You know, you can do all these things while you're young. You don't have to wait until you're grown up. These are all things that you can do as a kid. And I want you to know that God has a plan for your life, a purpose that he created for you way before you were ever born. And just like he did for John the Baptist, he's going to use you to bring people to Jesus if you let him. So pray and ask God to show you your purpose. Let him use you. Don't wait until you're grown up to start serving God. Start serving God now.
Hi, boys and girls. All right, today we're working on a new verse, okay? It's Philippians 4:13, all right? And this is a great verse to give you confidence, all right? It helps me, I know. It says, "I can do all this through him who gives me strength." Philippians 4:13. I can do all this through him who gives me, little old me, strength. Philippians 4:13. I hope you'll memorize that verse and it'll be a blessing to you as it is to me. All right? Have a great day.
Hey, boys and girls. How many of you like a Rice Krispie treat as a sweet snack? Well, I'm sure most of you could say yes to that because they're a very yummy treat. Well, here's my next question. Do adults like Rice Krispie treats? Let's see. Hey, Donnie, come here for a second.
Yes.
Do you like Rice Krispie treats?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Oh, really?
Would you like one?
Of course.
Okay. There you go.
Get in my belly, Rice Krispie treat.
So it looks like adults love treats like Rice Krispie treats too. Let's make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good? Here you go. Take a few more.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. So as you can see, you don't have to just be a kid to eat a Rice Krispie treat. But guess what? You don't have to just be an adult to know God's plan for your life. No. In fact, God has a plan for your life the moment you accept Jesus into your heart. His plan begins. And whether you realize it or not, God is always working on His plan and His purpose for your life. Even the smallest of kids can have a big impact on the plan that God has made for their lives. God sets that plan and it's His purpose. And even though to you it may seem very small, it could be a big part of God's plan, your role in it. So, don't spend your time thinking that because you're a kid, God doesn't have a plan for you. No. The moment you accept Jesus Christ is the moment God's plan begins, and you can start fulfilling that purpose with your life. So don't wait. Make that choice today.
Hi again. All right, today we're playing a game called Knotted Up. All right, this game is where two of our wonderful volunteers are going to race to put on a shirt and a tie, and who can do it the fastest wins. Okay? So we're going to do that, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. You can do this at home as well, okay? All right, here we go. All right, on your mark, get set, go. Button, 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 this is how we button, 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 button the shirt. Oh, she won again. Winner! And she didn't leave us hanging. Get it? Hanging? All right, and this game reminds us that you don't have to be big to do big things for Christ, okay? A little person can. You don't have to be a big person, all right? Anybody can do something big for Christ.
Do you like Rice Krispie treats?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Really?
Would you like one?
Of course.
Okay. Here you go.
Get in my belly, Rice Krispie.
Here you go.
Get in my belly, Rice Krispie.
Here you go.
Get in my belly, Rice Krispie.
Let's make sure.
Good job! We're working together! Yay! Seagrove!